So, today I watched a very beautiful podcast. Interview. Yeah, it was more of an interview, but it was like a podcast style type of thing. It was with Cynthia Erivo or Erivo. I don't know how to say her last name. Forgive me. But she's an actress. You guys probably know her from Harriet Tubman and that one movie where they did like the story on Harriet's life and stuff like that. And she happens to be British. She now lives in Los Angeles, and she is just and if you love art, she's just like an artist's artist. Like the way that she loves her craft and the passion she has for her craft and the stillness and just like the depth of her learning in life is so inspirational. Like I loved every bit of it. And it was with Jay Shetty. I think that's his name. She said something that was so beautiful to me. And she said basically that she's a runner and she's been running for since she was 20 years old, and she does like marathons, and she basically runs like every day. And one of the things that running has taught her is one, to just start the journey, because it's really easy to psych yourself out. And one of the things that she said, like whenever she's running and doing marathons or running up hills and things like that, she was told to always look towards the end, look at the hill, like look towards the future to see, like, you know, where you're headed. And she said the thing that she has adopted is the philosophy of looking down at your feet. So in other words, instead of worrying about what's ahead, worrying about what's in front of you. And the only thing that can happen to get you there from point A to point B is to put one foot in front of the other. And I found that so refreshing to hear. Not only just because obviously it's so simple, but it's true. I don't know about you guys, but procrastination is something that I struggle with. And one of the main things that I've been training myself to do lately is, if I think about something, do it right there. Because my problem, a problem I have is that I'll just say, oh, like let's say something falls and it rolls under the bed. Instead of me getting it then and there, I'll be like, well, I know where it's at, so whenever I need it again, I'll just get it. You see what I'm saying? Like little things like that make life so much harder, and chances are you forget things, it pushes you back later. Like just having things in order is just so important. And I guess I'm realizing that life can be a lot less stressful if you just focus on what's in front of you. And if you have a thought that pops up, and you know the thought is to complete this project or just do this, I'm teaching myself slowly but surely, just get it done right there. Just do it. Just start. Because a lot of times I feel like we put these situations that we go through and we kind of like have it cooking on the stove, right? The stove of life. And we just keep it sitting there. And it's like, girl, like sooner or later it's gonna burn. Like you can't just keep it posted as a I'm gonna get to it soon forever. Like you have to acknowledge things and just, it makes life so much easier. It takes away clutter. And it's such a simple message. Some of you guys probably don't struggle with this, but just one of the things that I've been really working on is trying to stop giving myself so many lists, because I like to cross things off, and try to start just knocking things off the list so that it doesn't even become like a full list. Does that make sense? Like I used to get excited about, oh, I have all these things to do, but then I thought about it and I'm like, well, you have things to do because you're not completing them the days that you're putting them on the list. So you're bringing them onto your next day's list and the next day's list, and it just becomes this whole thing. And yes, you feel accomplished once it's done, but like how productive are you being if you keep pushing things towards the next day and the next day? Do you see what I'm saying? So I guess today's message that I want to amplify is not being lazy. Literally just starting whatever you want to do, whatever you need to do. And sometimes we do get overwhelmed because it's like it's a long process and we already know that. It's not something you can just knock out of the way. But the beauty of starting means that you're that much closer to finishing. And the stress of completing something, we don't realize how beautiful it is to not have that feeling or that burden of something that needs to be done. So just get it out of the way. Like, if you can, do it. If you know it's going to take a long time, just start the process. Pull up whatever page it is online. Find the paper with the numbers that you need. Pay little by little the debt that you have. Whatever it is, like, just start little by little by little. And that goes with everything, y'all. Within your spiritual journey, little by little, take it step by step. Take what's in front of you. Within learning a skill, step by step, learn what's in front of you. Within relationships, little by little, step by step, pay attention to what's in front of you. One foot in front of the other. That's the only way anything is going to move. That's the only way you're going to be able to get up that hill or to get up that mountain, is by putting one foot in front of the other and then doing it again. One foot in front of the other. You know, again, one foot in front of the other. That's all it is. And I think we forget that in order to have these accomplishments, if you just do the little things first, sooner or later you're going to look back and realize that you've come a very long way on the journey that you started on. And it's a lot easier to focus on the tasks that you are dealing with rather than thinking about how much more you have to do in order to complete it. So procrastination kills. It kills time, it kills inspiration, it kills creativity, and it's just something that, you know, I would like to, you know, lessen within my life, but I know other people also are feeling this, and maybe this is your message, you know, to get up and do what you need to do. And to also not feel ashamed that you do procrastinate, because, honey, it's natural. It's very natural to procrastinate, especially for people who are creative and for people who get overwhelmed by what they want to do because they know it's a lot, you know? And that's okay, but just take it one step at a time. One foot in front of the other. Well, that's all I have for this message. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you or talk to you in the next one.